Today we need to get into HYBE being asked to replace Jungkook and that drama. We have fans believing that Jungkook was kissing someone at camp, and then intimate pics trend that have made the fandom go feral. So Dumplings, is Dave, decide hate it or not. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your Dumpling, taste spilling mug merch, and let's go. This morning, a bunch of ARMY started to freak out and scream over the fact that apparently there's been some intimate and nude pics that recently came out. If you're unaware, BTS released their photo book that was also their behind the scenes. Basically, this is a collection of photos from several moments in BTS's career thus far, where we see them backstage or moments before a show. These are moments that fans have never seen, and a lot of labels and artists won't even bother to record or document these moments because they don't ever think about what they could even do with it. HYBE is very smart for documenting these moments and then holding on to them until the perfect time to release. Every artist has a photographer to follow them around, at least the ones who intend to do this, and ARMY's got a big surprise when they opened the photo book recently to see all the photos that had come out. Several photos that came out were of the members shirtless. They were getting changed, and we got to see RM and V all shirtless as they were getting ready backstage. I will say I know we only have ever really seen Jungkook and Jimin on stage shirtless, but they all look fantastic and each of their bodies look amazing. So I think HYBE and BTS members can use that to their advantage for the next time there is a comeback. I think it'll blow up the internet when we see that happen after the military. There was one particular photo of Jungkook that people were freaking out as we were seeing Jungkook lying down and we could get a full view of his body and his arm tattoo. ARMY thought it was funny because there was a time in the fandom in which most people were thinking that photos of Jungkook just showing his arms were considered nude or naked photos, and this was definitely true. We were all there for that era, and fans were constantly begging Jungkook to do an arm tour or his tattoos. But the comments also go on to say that it's quite funny that us fans have sort of normalized the idea of Jungkook or BTS members shirtless. And I don't think that is true. First off, I hope we never normalize it because I love seeing people's reactions to it. But if it were normal, then no one would be talking about it. We don't freak out anymore over the idea that Jungkook has tattoos because that's normal for us. However, when we see them shirtless, we don't register that as normal quite yet. These shirtless nude pics all ended up trending as a lot of people were posting the stuff from the photo book and what their favorite moments were. I will say we need to say thank you to those posting because not every person is able to afford to buy every little thing that BTS comes out with. And of course, we don't want to feel out of the loop and not know what is going on. HYBE posts and does a lot of stuff for BTS and they try their best to support each member. However, it doesn't always get received that way. But I will say a recent time there was a moment where HYBE was caught in the middle of a rock and a hard place as no matter what they did, they would get hate. And I've touched upon this moment when it happened, but it has dragged on and has turned into something that is much bigger than what it initially was. The day BTS member all enlisted, ARMYs were trending HYBE change layout. The trends for this, if you aren't aware, was for the purpose of celebrating BTS. The fandom was pretending that BTS just debuted and was being playful to ask everyone to stream BTS's debut album. This then resulted in the fandom joking, asking HYBE to change their Twitter or X banner, which currently says Golden, Jungkook's album. Now, there's a bit of a catch-22. If HYBE actually decides to join in on the fun, if they change the banner for BTS's debut photos, Jungkook fans are going to be super upset saying that HYBE doesn't support Jungkook because they want Jungkook's album to just be up there. However, as you can imagine, since HYBE has not changed it, there's been some backlash as to HYBE not supporting BTS as a group. Now, a lot of Jungkook's fans were clapping back at people saying that those who were initially requesting the replacement of the banner basically hate Jungkook, and saying that Jungkook is basically mistreated by the fandom, saying that Golden hasn't gotten enough of its promotion. However, Jungkook has left to go to the military, and Golden is most definitely over since he is not even active anymore. So I didn't think it would be too big of an issue if HYBE had actually decided to change it. I think the fandom often looks for things to be upset about because the bottom line is whether Jungkook is the banner of HYBE, it makes no difference to Jungkook's success. It's not like those following BTS's official Twitter or X account aren't aware that Jungkook has an album and that the banner is creating thousands or millions of streams daily. The fandom sometimes likes to argue about things that are not relevant to the artist's success. It always seems like more of an ego thing than a thing that shows they actually care because they want to appear like HYBE likes Jungkook best, so they have bragging rights and they're willing to send threats over those bragging rights. Now, is it possible those who created the trend and the celebration of BTS and trending HYBE changed layout are people who don't like Jungkook? Absolutely, because knowing how K-pop fans are, sometimes elaborate and crazy things like that do happen. It almost sometimes feels like there's a team of people trying to come up with creative ways to erase each other, and given that Jungkook was getting a lot of hate for Zionism, it makes sense why people think that HYBE change layout trend is a direct attack on Jungkook. However, what I saw the trend as was it was supposed to represent a celebration of the boys leaving and a deep appreciation for their career, as well as anticipation for their comeback, which I think Jungkook would appreciate and love more than just a celebration of himself. And he has explained that he loves the members beyond himself. Of course, there are always Jungkook rumors, given that he is so talented as well as so young, and the youngest member of the group always gets the most love. It makes sense why he is getting the most hate, as he probably has the most eyeballs. He recently got a new rumor of him right before he enlisted and was at the ceremony for the send-off thing. He was hugging everyone goodbye and it was very emotional. It was leaked by some fans or viewers that were at the camp, and then HYBE actually ended up posting about it with their official video, and this is when ARMYs took moments from the video, screenshotted them, and did what they did to talk about specific moments in the video. People took a screenshot of Jungkook and Taeyang and then asked people to look at their lips to say that their lips look swollen, and this is to say that they must have been sucking each other's lips or kissing. And I think this is very strange to say, because even if it was proven that the two was dating, it's still not seen as super common and accepted in Korea. First off, PDA and that sort of stuff just isn't as accepted, or just isn't something you see a lot in Korea. So especially two men saying goodbye with their family there, they aren't going to be making out and sucking each other's lips. They'll just kiss each other lightly and then go enlist. If it was done the night before, then it really wouldn't be swollen anymore. The weather is also very cold, and the idea of the boys getting very chapped lips and then licking their lips could be a result of these swollen lips that we may see. And the reason why I think this narrative or this rumor here is a bad one to start is because Jimin and Jungkook enlisted together, not Taeyang and Jungkook, which means that because this rumor is going around and Jungkook enlisted with another member, that member, in this case Jimin, is about to get a lot of threats, and it sucks to be away and to be working hard in the military only to look online and see threats. Like, imagine Jimin is just thinking, oh, everyone must miss me and must want me to come back, to go online to just see people saying that they wish he would die in the military and that they think he's awful because he is ruining Jungkook and Taeyang's relationship. I am not anti or pro any specific ship. I am very much pro Jimin. I don't believe that he should be getting so much hate, and the reason he gets so much hate is because he happens to be in the middle of every one of those really intense subset of fans in the fandom. So very specific things like shipping, and so it puts him at the center, and then people categorize him as a problem, so they send hate. When in reality, these things have been never 100% proven to be true yet. Please be kind to each other, and no one deserves to wake up to see threats online. Please stop sending those. If you don't like a specific idol, do you really think sending threats is going to stop them? Also, the threats are often the reason some idols who aren't strong end their life. Is that something that makes those people happy? But when I say that idols can end themselves over hate, suddenly I'm labeled as dramatic. Hasn't it happened a lot? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.